For our top stories tonight, the Philippine Coast Guard, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources will start its rotational deployment at Bajo de Masinloc.
Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement with France has possibility, says Secretary of Foreign Affairs Enrique Manalo.
Lawmakers criticizes Commission on Elections or COMELEC signature withdrawal process.
Heartbreak leave bill proposed in the House of Representatives.
And vlogger Kong TV V Cortez have released their prenup photos. Good evening, bringing you the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO.
And I am KRIZZA LOPEZ. This is your TV News Thread. A rotational deployment will start to the areas around Bajo de Masinloc despite China's presence in the waters of the Philippine Economic Zone. This confirms by the National Security Council. Henry Nicolas has more details.
The National Security Council or NSC announced on Friday that the country will start the rotational deployment of its vessels at Bajo de Masinloc starting this month. According to NSC Advisor Secretary Eduardo Anio, the Philippine Coast Guard and Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources will take place to implement the said mandate to secure the food security in the country. Recently, the PCG completed its successful 9-day maritime patrol in BDM and gave grocery packs to the Filipino fishermen. Meanwhile, Anyo denied reports of the China Coast Guard claim that it expelled a PCG and BFAR vessels that allegedly intruded into their waters. The National Security Council reaffirms the Philippines' sovereign rights and jurisdiction over Bajo de Masinloc and its surrounding waters within the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. These rights are recognized under international law, including United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS and the 2016 Arbitral Award, said Anio. He added that the activities of the Filipino fishermen and the PCG and BFAR vessels in the Bajo de Masinloc were fully compliant with national laws and consistent with the Philippines' position on the West Philippine Sea. This is Henry Nicolas for EuroTV News.
Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo confirms the possibility of visiting forces agreement with France along with the progression of the reciprocal access agreement with Japan. More details from this story. The Department of Foreign Affairs Chief confirmed the possibility of having visiting forces agreement or VFA between the Philippines and France. Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo, talking to the members of Foreign Correspondents Association of the Philippines or FOCAP, said that the VFA between the Philippines and France has been discussed, but he said there are no details yet. However, the agreement between the France and the Philippines cannot be called as BFA because there is no formal proposal for such agreement yet. He also said that thorough discussion between the two defense ministers of both countries is necessary. Meanwhile, the same agreement between the Philippines and Japan is on the process already. The agreement called the Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA will benefit both Japan and the Philippines when it comes to trainings, joint exercises, likewise in the field of defense and security. For the past years, the Philippines and the United States have expanded their maritime and defense security cooperation despite the continuing increase of tensions in the West Philippine Sea with the presence of Chinese vessels claiming their rights, even disallowed by the 2016 arbitral ruling and thus violating the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. It was 1999 when the VFA between the Manila and Washington became effective, allowing the two countries to establish military bases in the Philippines. Separately, almost the same defense and security agreements have also been signed with Canada and the United Kingdom. ALVIN PELOBELLO for EuroTV News.
Meanwhile, following the Commission on Election issuance of withdrawal form for signatures on People's Initiative, the lawmakers from the Senate criticized the requirements of the Commission as complicated. More details on my report. Several legislators have expressed dissatisfaction with the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, over its requirement for explanations from individuals wishing to withdraw their signatures from signature forms. This issue arose after Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa disclosed that some individuals had expressed their intention to withdraw their signatures from the People's Initiative. Subsequently, COMELEC released withdrawal forms clarifying that this action serves only to document withdrawals and does not constitute formal action on the signature sheets. Lawmakers, including Senate Majority Leader Joel Villanueva and Senator Amy Marcos, have raised concerns about the COMELEC's insistence on explanations from those seeking signature withdrawal. Villanueva emphasized the need for a simplified withdrawal process, describing the COMELEC's requirements as overly complex. He called on the poll body to facilitate an easier process, asserting the importance of respecting Filipinos' right to withdraw their signatures. Senator Amy Marcos echoed these sentiments, advocating for a straightforward withdrawal process without the mandatory requirement for explanations. She drew attention to the contrast with the initial signature process, which did not necessitate explanations from participants. Bayan Muna Chairman Nery Colmenares also weighed in, suggesting that providing an explanation for withdrawal should be optional. Colmenares expressed concern that mandatory explanations might deter individuals from withdrawing signatures due to potential fears or repercussions. In response to this concern, COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia assured that withdrawal forms would be accepted even without explanations from signatories. This measure aims to address apprehensions and streamline the signature withdrawal process, ensuring that Filipinos can exercise their rights without unnecessary impediments. This is KRIZZA Lopez for EuroTV News.
As the search, rescue, and retrieval operations continues to the affected areas of landslide and Maco, Davao de Oro, the remains being recovered has raised to 92. And during the visit of President Bongbong Marcos in Caraga region, he assures the relief assistance and the clean drinking water for the affected areas. Here's more details on my report. The recovered remains of the victims who died in the landslide in municipality of Maco, Davao de Oro is now up to 92. According to the local government of Maco, there are 36 people remains missing due to the landslide. 32 were being rescued from the landslide that hit the area on February 6. More than 1.5 people, or almost 500,000 families, were affected by the bad weather conditions that hit Mindanao areas, particularly in northern Mindanao, Davao, Soc-Sargen, Caraga, and Bangsamoro. Areas in Mindanao that have experienced floodings and landslides have also been placed under the state of calamity. This includes Maco, Davao de Oro, Agusan del Sur, Lingig, Surigao del Sur, Butuan City, and Las Nieves, Agusan del Norte. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has assured the aid to those affected by the disaster in Mindanao. PBBM's order includes ensuring that there is clean drinking water in the affected areas.
Oo, kayo na munang bahala. Basta we'll supply what we can, what we have. Because alam naman ninyo kung sinong nangangailangan, where they are to be found.
Yes, sir.
So that as usual, it always ends up, the last mile is always LGU.
Wala po akong makikitang source of water doon. So it's very ironic that these people are submerged in water but they are suffering from thirst because due to lack of supply of water.
PBBM also instructed the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, to continue providing assistance through emergency cash transfer.
As the normal standard operating procedure, we've already started engaging the local leaders on the emergency cash transfer. We can use the emergency cash transfer for Agusan del Sur because of their declaration of state of calamity.
ALVIN PELOBELLO for EuroTV News. More stories up next as EuroTV News Tonight returns.
After the 12-month process of private and public partnership, the Department of Transportation announced that San Miguel Corporation, or SMC, won the bid for the rehabilitation of Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA. Details from this report. The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, has announced San Miguel Corporation, or SMC, as the successful bidder for the rehabilitation of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, NAIA. SMC, SAP, and Corporation emerged victorious in the bidding consortium, offering a notable revenue share to the government of 82.16%, surpassing its competitors.
Actually, yes, we have issued the notice of award. No? We have sent it today. And siguro one of the reasons why it's one of the fastest, no? Because we really work hard. No? The Department of Transportation, MIAA, no? The PPP Center.
Transportation Under Secretary Timothy Batan highlighted that the private-public partnership or PPP process concluded within 12 months. He noted that the project's inception dates back to February 2, 2023, with the government signing of the Transaction Advisory Services Agreement with the Asian Development Bank. Subsequently, the National Economic and Development Authority approved the project's requirements, paving the way for the bidding invitation in August 2020.
Officially started when we signed the Transaction Advisory Services Agreement with the Asian Development Bank on February 2, 2023. The investment proposal, the PPP proposal, the business case, the feasibility study were submitted to NEDA, submitted to the ICC for approval on June 2, 2023. We were able to get NEDA board approval on July 19, 2023. Showing the how fast the process can be and the vast importance of this project.
The NAIA Rehabilitation Project encompasses various aspects including the refurbishment of the passenger terminal and airside facilities. This comprehensive initiative extends to the runway, aircraft parking area, and airfield lighting, among other crucial components. This is KRIZZA LOPEZ for EuroTV News.
According to the data of the Land Transportation Office, or LTO, more than 3,000 motorists have been arrested because of different violations in the first month of the year. Henry Nicolas tells us more.
The Land Transportation Office, or LTO, apprehended a total of 3,510 motorists for different violations of traffic laws in January this year. According to LTO NCR Law Enforcement Unit, Out of the said number, 1,860 were motorists for violating Republic Act number 4136, also known as the Land Transportation and Traffic Code. A total of 311 of these were the unregistered in relation with the no registration, no travel policy. 1,097 motorists were also apprehended for not using seatbelt, and 5,035 or 535 of the motorists face penalties for not using helmets, 3 for violations of the Anti-Distracted Driving Act for not complying with the Children's Safety on Motorcycle Law, and 1 for driving under the influence of prohibited drugs. The Philippine National Police took action also against 193 individuals. The LTO-NCR highlighted the importance of implementing traffic laws for various reasons. It said that only promotes public safety by defining and regulating acceptable behavior on the roads, reducing the risk of accidents and injuries, but also ensures orderly and efficient traffic flow, preventing congestion and minimizing disruptions. This is Henry Nicolas for EuroTV News.
Heads up for our motorists after a week of decrease in prices. Another oil price hike looms next week due to high demand and delays in shipping oils. Vanessa Cleophas tells us more.
The rollback in the price of petroleum products ended just last week, where it dropped slightly to 1 pesos and 30 centavos, 64 centavos and 63 centavos. Now the oil industry has announced that a further increase in the price of petroleum product is expected next week. According to the Oil Industry Management Bureau, the prices of gasoline, diesel and kerosene will expected to increase next week. Estimated adjustment ranges from 1 pesos and 10 centavos to 1 pesos and 50 per liter. This is much higher than the rollback last week. One of the reasons for the oil price hike is due to high demands, delays in shipping oils, and Middle East conflicts. It can be remembered that for the entire month of January, this year consecutive oil price hikes in petroleum products. Vanessa Cleophas for EuroTV News.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development stated that it is still more practical to distribute the monthly 600 pesos rice subsidy of 4-piece beneficiaries rather than converting it to the actual rice bags. This is following the proposal of the officials from the Agriculture Department to convert the rice subsidy into the actual rice, as it will ease the price pressures of the market when it comes to buying high-priced rice. DSWD spokesperson and Assistant Secretary for Strategic Communication Romel Lopez said on Friday that they had explained and discussed this matter to the Department of Agriculture, saying that it may not be feasible given to the logistical requirements that may not be convenient for the 4-piece beneficiaries. Lopez also pointed out that purchasing rice is not included in the provisions of the General Appropriations Act, thus there is no legal cover in this matter. He added that without the legal cover, there is no need to have a discussions with the National Advisory Council, where DA is a member agency, regarding this matter.
The Department of Budget and Management, DBM, has approved Special Allotment Release Order or SARO amounting to 2.5 billion pesos, which will be allotted to ensure free public internet. Under the SARO signed by Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman, part of the fund will be allotted to further implement free public internet access program that will guarantee access to free Wi-Fi, especially in the digital era. More than 2.4 billion pesos from the said budget will be used to fund free internet connectivity and access to public areas, including national and government offices, public education institutions, SUCs, TESDA institutions, public hospitals, medical facilities, plaza, transport area, and others. Remaining 50 million pesos will be allotted to respond to connectivity concerns within state universities and colleges within the country. Aside from the SARO, DBM has also approved the release of notice of cash allowance for the first quarter worth of 356.2 million pesos, which will be used for maintenance and other operating expenses concerning the ICT.
Are you feeling heartbroken and you need time to move on? Worry no more as the House of Representatives files a heartbreak leave bill. For more details of this story, Vanessa Cleophas tells us more.
If you are broken-hearted and need to rest for a while to think and recover but you can't because you still have to go to work, a legislator has a solution to this. Cagayan de Oro 1st District Representative Lourdes Juan has filed a House Bill 9931 or a Heartbreak Recovery and Resilience Act. This bill proposed to take care of the employees who suffer from heartbreak. They can take a heartbreak leave once it's approved. According to the proposed bill, employees' health is not good if they simultaneously work while experiencing heartbreak. This is also allegedly causes excessive emotional stress and negative energy. It can also affect their emotional and mental well-being, leading to decreased productivity in work and healthcare costs. Under the proposed legislation, ages 25 are entitled to a maximum of 1 day of leave every year. Employees between the ages of 25 and 35 years old are entitled to a maximum of 2 business days of unpaid heartbreak, while employees aged 36 and above are entitled to take 3 business days of unpaid heartbreak leave. However, if the bill passed, employees must provide their employer with a signed statement confirming the dissolution of their romantic relationship within the past 30 days. Vanessa Cleophas for Your TV News.
Love is really in the air this February. Engagement, prenup, and vow renewal are only featured in an entertainment news tonight. Who are these couples? Let's find out in the News Entertainment by Angelica Galvez.
GMA actress Shaira Diaz and Sparkle actor E.A. Guzman had more excitement after they announced that they are engaged. Shaira and E.A. announced on the national morning show that they are engaged. That surprised UH Barkada with the new milestone they had. In an Instagram post, the two shared some pictures of their engagement from years ago. The two were engaged in 2021. In another showbiz news, vlogger couple Lincoln Velasquez, or better known as Kong TV, and V Cortez look like movie stars after they released their pre-wedding pictures taken in Japan. In the released pictures of the nice print photo, it can be seen that the pictures were taken at the PCS crosswalk in Japan, the Shibuya crossing, but it seems that the time has happened and no people are passing here. Because of this, the fans seem to be more excited as they are excited for the upcoming wedding of the two. #Perfect Combination. That's the official hashtag used by the couple Kong TV and V Cortez, followed by the caption Countdown to Forever Start Snap. It can be remembered that in 2022, the couple announced that they were engaged. Netizens were amazed by Heart Evangelista's Kochu ensemble that she wore during her vow renewal with her husband Senator Francis G. Escudero. The truly breathtaking beaded ensemble was created by a Lebanese fashion designer, El Saab. The dress that Heart is wearing has a veil and a long flowy sleeves that actually reach the floor. According to Heart, Saab has a special place in her heart because his show was the first fashion week that she went to. This is Angelica Galvez for Euro TV News.
And that's the latest news for tonight. You may visit yourtvph.com for more news and information. Once again, this is KRIZZA Lopez.
You can also catch our broadcast live in our social media accounts and via Pinoy Extreme channel. I'm ALVIN PELOBELLO. This is your TV News Thread. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone.